Former President Trump also in Pennsylvania last night, making his pitch to voters at a town hall event that took an unusual turn. Senior national correspondent Terry Moran has the details. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, George. Donald Trump came here to the suburbs of Philadelphia, one of the critical battlegrounds in this battleground state, looking for votes. But as you say, that town hall event that he held quickly turned into something very different when the candidate turned into a DJ. Overnight, Donald Trump, in his 11th trip to must-win Pennsylvania, urged his supporters to turn out on Election Day.
We win Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing.
Yes.
In a town hall-style event in the western suburbs of Philadelphia, the former president stuck to his top issues, attacking Vice President Harris over inflation and immigration. He pledged to shut the southern border, end Russia's war in Ukraine, lower prices at the grocery store, and bring down interest rates to 2%, while providing few details on how he'd accomplish all that.
People don't think of grocery. You know, it sounds like not such an important word when you talk about homes and everything else, right? But more people tell me about grocery bills, where the price of bacon, the price of lettuce, the price of tomatoes, they tell me. And we're going to do a lot of things.
But then, 30 minutes in, two attendees suffered medical emergencies.
A doctor, please. Doctor.
The incidents shifted the mood, prompting Trump to cut the question short and instead play some of his favorite music.
How about this? We'll play YMCA and we'll go home.
Trump kept DJing, and most of his supporters stayed for another 30 minutes of his playlist. People inside the hall seemed to like it very much. At the end, Trump did something he rarely does. He came down off the stage and mingled with the crowd, shaking hands and chatting with people. He seemed to enjoy it as well. He's heading to Chicago for an interview with Bloomberg News today, and then later to Georgia, another battleground. Robin?
All right, Terry, thanks to you. We know the campaign's working hard to turn out their voters. It's what they call the ground game. Our political director and Washington bureau chief, Rick Klein, has the latest on the key aspect of the race with new polling out this morning. Good morning to you, Rick.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. Election Day is still 3 weeks away, but as of this morning, brand new numbers, more than 5 million Americans have actually already voted. That's across well more than half of the states. That pace is actually down from 4 years ago when COVID drove record early voting. And while we don't know exactly who voted for whom yet, we do know that more likely Democrats are voting early than likely Republicans. But check this out. Republicans have actually picked up their pace from 4 years ago. There were more Republicans voting early than last time around. Both campaigns spending massive amounts of money and energy trying to reach their voters, as you mentioned. In our latest ABC News Ipsos poll, a whopping 62% of people across the 7 major battlegrounds, that's nearly 2/3 of voters, say they've actually already been contacted by either the Harris or the Trump campaign. Nearly half said they've been contacted directly by Harris, almost the same number exactly by Trump's campaign. But the Harris ground game appears to be doing more to actually help voters vote. 48% of those contacted by Harris say the campaign has offered assistance, things like helping people register or figure out where to cast their ballots. That's nearly 10 percentage points more than, say, the Trump campaign has offered assistance to them in a race where every vote matters, Robin.
And that's because turnout plays directly into campaign messaging down the stretch, Rick.
Yeah, Robin, and here's the deal. The race is basically tied. A range of national polls have Harris up a point or two, maybe even a tied race. The 538 polling average, 2.5 points, 2.4 points separating the two. That means that so much of this campaign at this point, it's not really about undecided voters as much as it is about convincing your voters to vote at all. That said, we are seeing some movement in the polls. Donald Trump trailing among independents by 5 points in our latest poll. That's 49 to 44. But he was down 10 points among independents just a month ago. This is a group that more often than not sides with the winning presidential candidate, something both campaigns are aware of, Robin.
And we're aware that we are 3 weeks out. Okay, Rick, thank you.